Hi, it's Mike Andes, founder at Homeworks, and I am super excited because today this is the biggest launch Homeworks has ever made. In early 2026, the tech world completely changed, in my opinion. AI took massive strides with coding agents, and you might have heard about OpenClaw or Claude Code or other agents like that. Now, we've been quietly building what I believe is the future of home service business software. Homeworks can now connect directly with AI tools like Claude and other compatible AI agents such as ChatGPT. Now, what this does is instead of you digging through a whole bunch of reports, trying to build a bunch of spreadsheets, switching between a bunch of screens, spending hours trying to compile data, you can just ask a question in plain English and get an immediate answer based upon all the actual data inside of your Homeworks account. Now, before I go into the nitty-gritty details, I want to go over a few of our beta members that have been in the beta testing program and used it. John Mueller from Mueller Landscape, he said it best in my opinion. He said, between the MCP and Claude, I've basically replaced half my day since our admin left. Claude now runs the whole daily operation, morning timestamps, prorating jobs to the actual track time, building invoices, entering them into QuickBooks. Every time a lead comes in, I just tell Claude, and the full intake and follow-up text is done in seconds. So literally, his admin left. That's usually pretty hard for a small business, and he was able to replace almost all the work they did using these tools. So Jamar, he's also inside of the beta test program. He's from Peaceful Lawn and Garden. He described the shift this way. He said, anything that used to mean me logging in into Homeworks and eyeballing the board, I've turned into a scripted pool that I trust. Another member said, they call it mind-boggling, saying that it's going to allow their company to grow without having to hire a second office person. And a lot of times when you pass $750,000, $800,000, $1 million in revenue, you're like, man, I need that second admin. But now, being able to augment those skills of that one person with AI, they haven't had to hire that second office person despite the growth. Now, even at Augusta Lawn Care, the franchise that I started, we use this capability and these tools to analyze data across hundreds of accounts. We can now examine churn in the first 90 days. We can examine churn over the course of the first year to be able to know where we should focus on fixing problems in the customer journey. We've been able to figure out pricing optimization from hundreds of locations around the country, around the world, be able to identify which are our customers that we need to raise prices on. We're also able to take the data from all these locations and figure out performance trends and opportunities that would be almost impossible for us to uncover manually when we have hundreds of locations, thousands of data points, and so many different moving parts. This allows us to compare locations. We've created a health score that takes all that data and gives us an actual score for every location. And the AI offers coaching across our system to all of our Augusta franchisees. Now, I've always talked about this. Other members inside the community have talked about the importance of knowing your numbers. In my opinion, this AI and the tools that we've now built takes it to a completely new level. You don't just know your numbers, you interrogate your numbers. You can discover the patterns, and the AI allows you to be able to turn into what used to take months to figure out into just seconds, nearly instantly, taking what is in the data, be able to decide what to do next, and then take action inside the business. For decades, home service businesses have had to change their operations to fit the limitations of their software. Now, using AI and using the open API that we've now built, the software can begin to mold itself around the way you actually run the business. The specific way that you handle reporting, the specific way that you do chemical tracking or automations or your marketing or your lead attribution or how you do your upsells or tracking referral programs. These little vibe coded tools that you can now build, you can connect directly into Homeworks. Even if you use automation platforms like N8N or Make or Zapier, now you can just plug those in directly into Homeworks. Now, there are two ways to connect, and both of them are really simple. I don't want you to get confused with all the jargon around technology and AI and API and ChatGPT and Claude. If that's overwhelming, let me be very clear. We've made this extremely simple. You just need your Homeworks login to be able to make the connection. There's two ways to make the connection. MCP, don't get bogged down with the terminology. MCP, though, is what allows you to be able to connect to the agents. This is like Claude, ChatGPT, those AI assistants where you're just asking it a question and it's able to get all the data and just give it to you. That's going to be using the MCP. Now, the API allows you to build custom applications, custom dashboards, custom automations, and custom integrations with just about any software you build or other apps that you use. Both of them connect directly through this very simple, what's called OAuth. Think of it kind of like a valet key. The tool gets access to do the job it needs to do without you handing over your master credentials. And you can revoke access at any time from your account settings. This is no longer only for developers. If you vibe coded a tool, you can use it. It's super easy to connect. Now, this is available today for all enterprise customers inside of Homeworks. And we're actually going to give the first month for free to growth customers as well. So make sure you go to your billing account, make sure you're in growth or enterprise. If you're in growth, make sure you use it, see the value of it, and consider joining enterprise. I believe this unlocks a huge amount of opportunity inside of your business. I believe emphatically that this is the future of software. Your business data should be accessible where you need it, when you need it. Not locked inside one piece of software, and they use that to keep you in long-term contracts and consistently just raise prices every single year, and all your data is locked inside. And if I was choosing a platform today, and I wasn't even associated with Homeworks, there'd be one question I'd be asking. Am I gonna get open access to the API and the MCP? Because I believe this is the future. And this is why in 2026 at Homeworks, we have poured massive resources, and a huge significant part of the team have been focused on this project. I believe that as of today, Homeworks has the most exposed data and API in the home service industry. This allows full access to all of your data. And here's the thing, it's not just read access where the AI is able to go in, get the data, and then bring that back to you. It actually allows for write access, meaning you can create estimates, invoices, payments, and actually take action inside of Homeworks just by talking to your agent, or just do the API calls that you make from your application. Homeworks MCP and API access are available today. You can connect your first AI tool, start asking questions, and see what becomes possible when all the data of your business is at your fingertips. I challenge you, go in there and ask it what services are most profitable. Ask it about your route density. Ask it about pricing on your services. So go ahead and check out some of our member case studies in the email. Look at our help articles that are going to guide you on how to set up in ChatGPT, in Claude, connect your API. And also, as time goes on, we're going to consistently add more Academy videos for you to be able to set this up and have a guided walkthrough. I believe that over the coming months, the community around Homeworks will be able to build tools. And our hope is that down the road, we'll be able to make a marketplace where even if you might not build the tool yourself, if you see a dashboard or an app that you would like to be able to use, we'll create the integration for other members to be able to contribute to the marketplace and us all use these tools together. This is the future. Welcome to Homeworks.